Everybody, we're back with another episode of Wealth for the Culture. And I got my guys back on again, my boy Mark and Devin. They low-key about to start becoming regulars to the show. How y'all boys doing, man? It's late night, but you know.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm doing good on this late night pod. It's different.
So I'm alive, I'll tell you that. Shoot.
Yeah, man. I just got pulled over. You know, it's crazy how these things work. Thought I was about to be on a t-shirt, but somehow the power of conversation saved me. This podcast has helped me. You know, I can just spark up a convo like nothing. But anyway, like, man, I thought, y'all laughing, boy. Man had a hand on the gun for a little bit. I was like, uh-oh, here we go. We good, though. We good. We all right. A block from my damn house, but you know. That man look at my life. He say, "Oh, you really right down the street." I say,
"He found church real quick."
Yeah, who you telling? Boy, I went to have my hands off my driver's side, so the man creeping up on the other side. I say, "Oh, damn!" I look at him. Who is that? Well, I thought it was two of them coming together. I was like, "Damn." But we good now, man. But you know, we can go on and get into it, man. You know, we always talk about some type of entrepreneurship, wealth, business, all that on this show. We keep it black, you know. Keeping it black. And today, topic is going to be interesting, man. Mainly because of all the stuff that's been going on over the last few months with all the, you know, most of us in here besides Devin, you know, I'm pretty much a new entrepreneur. Mark, I don't know, you a new entrepreneur, huh?
Yeah.
Started trying to get that going. So for me, my freedom money or whatever you want to call it started off in investing land. Devin more so, he got the experience on the entrepreneurship tip. But after seeing all this headache that I've been going through and all these different things I got going on, and I've got a couple things going on with Devin as well, I just wanted to get my boys together to talk about all the don'ts of entrepreneurship. Because everybody tells you, oh, start an LLC, start a business, do this, you'll be good, you'll be ready. But nobody tells you this is 24/7 work and don't stop, and you're going to run into problem after problem after problem. And you're going to have to keep going and somehow not quit, which is fine by me. You know, I'm cool with the grind, but it's not for everybody. So, you know, this is a very transparent episode of what not are the don'ts of entrepreneurship. I guess more so, you know, what to look out for when you're in this journey of, oh, I wanna be free and walk away from my job of structure and people telling me what I got to do and me having a set thing going on. What y'all boys got to say on the whole the don'ts of entrepreneurship or what to look out for when you step into this?
I mean, I'll just shoot one off quick. I mean, we could try something different here. We're like, I'll say one, Mark can say one, you can say one. I mean, my biggest don't is don't just jump into something. Well, I'm gonna say don't jump in head first because you got to kind of know what you're jumping into. Jump in too quick, you might find yourself working a whole lot harder than you need to be. So that's kind of my first don't.
What you got, Mark?
I think mine is don't let go of your day job until your actual side job is actually self-efficient enough to be able to make.
Man, that man on something right there. That man on something right there. Well, I tell you, man. Let me tell you something. I'm cool. You know, I've come to the terms in my life where I have my set number in my head I need to make in entrepreneurship to walk away from my job. And it could be less than what I'm making in my job. But for right now, until I see that consistent, like month over month, nah, bro. I'm straight at work every day. And that right there that's the biggest bar, I think, because everybody want to, you know, walk away. And that's the goal, you know. Y'all, like, nobody wants to work for somebody. But then people don't realize when you work for yourself, I think for me, I guess we'll just, like, this is just like a warning. When you're working for yourself, you literally never stop working.
Yep.
Like, I know people will see those people on Instagram, YouTube, you know, and I got people that I brought on the show that, you know, I look up on Instagram, they in Cancun, over here in freaking Dubai, this place, you know, all over the US, just chilling and doing their work, getting paid. But man, you gotta work hard to get to that point. before you can just start, just making money wherever you go.
And
that's just sort of take in.
Well, because even with that, because they're still working too, they're making content. Right there, I mean, they're going to Cancun and wherever else to sell the dream so they could sell whatever they're selling. So,
let me tell you something. You see this background? If y'all looking at this on YouTube, you see this background Mark guy. Now, I have a girl that I brought on this show, Annalisa. She's a VA, virtual assistant, for y'all don't know what that is. And this woman, she'll be in, I swear she's in a different city or country every week. But I've never seen somebody, she still got her 9 to 5, but she works from home. And she does social media management. She's like a business manager for somebody. She teaches other people to be VAs. I don't understand how she get it done. And I brought her on the show, interviewed her, and I still don't understand how she get it done. I'm doing like 2 things, and I'm just sitting here like overwhelmed. And it's just like, man, like it ain't enough time in the day. And then you want to try to chill on one day. I took a break on Sunday just to chill. I looked up, I got so much stuff I got to get done now. Tomorrow morning when I wake up. Oh, it made no sense, bro. But
what's one of your don'ts, Ollie?
My don'ts?
Don't.
People say jump head first into something. A lot of people say that, but nah, don't do. I know you mentioned something similar to this, but do your research before you do some of this stuff. Because right now, I'll just put this out there, right? Me and Devin trying to get into the car rental game. I go out, give me a loan, get pre-approved. I'm feeling good. I'm about to cop this rental car. I literally signed a paper, signed something, but I'm sitting here like, oh yeah. I done ordered the GPS kill switch. I'm sitting there like, oh bro, they charge it way because we was gonna do it on hire car. We look on Turo, they charge you like extra $10, $15 a week or a day. So I'm sitting here like, oh yeah, that's a lick right here. First thing I messed up on is my insurance, because I was being personal insurance start off because we hadn't switched over to the LLC right yet. So story time, people. So Ollie Brady gets this vehicle. I'm on cloud 9 initially. Let me tell you a lot of stuff all the bad that happened in the whole matter of probably like 6 hours, Devin?
Yeah.
First thing, I called the insurance company like, okay, let me go with Compass Insurance. The insurance on my car is expensive, so I'm like, all right, cool, I understand. I got a Jeep or whatever. I downsize. But my insurance kind of high. I'm like, all right, whatever. There's no way it could be this high on a Sentra. Not a Nissan, not a $14,000 vehicle. I'm like, ain't no way. I'm thinking, in the 100. I done already put in my information to get the quotes and stuff. Man, they run my stuff. Sit on the phone. Mind you, the car note was gonna be $230-ish, $235-ish. You know what the insurance gonna cost me?
About $150.
Huh? That would have made me happy. Insurance gonna cost me $204. I'm sitting here like, bruh. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm about to eat this because we did it on mine instead of Devin's for this one. But then I'm like, okay, well, Devin will get the vehicle in Houston. It'll balance out after he get his stuff. All right, whatever. Nah, that ain't it. So then I convinced the guy, real cool guy. Shout out to Kevin at El Dorado Motors. This man saved me. He was real cool. I mean, I probably ain't gonna catch no credit repair business from like I originally was. Power of networking people. Had this worked out, he was gonna send me all the people that was gonna try to get cars through him to do their credit repair. And I'm charging premium grade A cheap prices. Talk about $100 up front, $50 a month. Unheard of cheap. I don't know too many people doing that cheap. Fast forward, I'm typing up everything, getting the listing ready for Turo. I done went and got me a whole description that look all professional. We took the picture straight off the dealer's website. That's quick tip. That right there is a bar. Hey, y'all ever get into this Turo game? Y'all don't even waste time getting no pictures. They get them professional pictures. You go take them right off the dealer's website, save them to your computer. That way, whenever you put up the listing, you can just boom, 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 boom. If you want to take some extras later on, cool. You got to take some pictures anyways when you rent it out to the customer. So just keep that in mind. You'll probably we're gonna get into it, whatever. That's for another day when we really get good at it. Gotta get a vehicle first. But what really got me And so I get because I told her, I'm like, bro, I need you to send me this license plate. I had convinced him he was going to take it to the Nissan dealership because it was an open recall on it. I'm like, bet, no problem. It's something very minor, bro, like a latch. No, it was a lamp, the stop lamp.
Stop.
So I'm like, bro, okay, cool. So my boy Devin over here helping me out. He calling the dealership because I'm trying to get the license plate number so I can finish the listing. I go to his list this mug. I'm like, I'm seeing our average daily price. You can tell Turo to just calculate for you. So we looking at like 45 a day. And I know this is a lick because I was talking to one of my boys that does this as well. He was telling me he do like 50 a day. And I'm looking at the other people in there. They doing about 60, 65 a day. But Nissan Sentras. So I'm like, oh, we good. I go to list this mug. I'm like, bro, what? Big old pop-up screen pop up. You cannot list this. Open recall. So then I'm like, okay, I'm waiting on Devin just to tell me, like I'm thinking this gonna be like nothing major. They're gonna take it up there, they're gonna fix it, boom. Might have to wait, a couple weeks to get them to send all the paperwork in to the little safety people. They updated, we good. So Devin hit me back. Literally while I'm in the middle of calling insurance companies to get different quotes, mind you. Because the insurance they gave me was literally almost as much as the car note. So I'm like, all right, let me just call some other people. So then I call Geico. They talk about 211. I'm like, so y'all can charge me more than other people. I'm good. I'm cool. Then Devin called me back. My man say, hey, I got about 4 to 6 months, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
We gonna get the part. Bro, I sat in my chair, bro. I was just like, I done already signed, like my signatures on the papers. I gave him the check. I signed off on the check to give it to him. So now I'm panicking, bro. I'm like, damn, bro, this is 14 grand. I don't even I can't rent the vehicle out. So now I'm sitting here like, 4 people, we have technical difficulties. Nothing wants to go right for me today. I guess my boy said I left off with was, we're at the part where we're hitting up Kevin, the auto guy, the auto salesman or whatever, car salesman. And I'm over here telling this man, I'm just trying to get a hold of him. Devin calling him. So I know he probably sitting here feeling like he pressed because he hit me back like, who is this Devin guy? I'm just sitting there like, oh, damn. So I'm thinking Devin that told him he about to come get him or something. So now I go to my line. I'm like, bro, this car for my sister. My mama tripping off this recall. My sister don't feel safe. All of this. I'm just going in. I'm just trying to think of the best line. I'm like, I love to do this. I love to still see you some business some way, but I can't go through with this deal. I got to get out. Fast forward. I didn't think Kevin was going to come through, but that man came through. Got me up out of there, got somehow avoided the thing, and then I called my bank, sent some kind of declaration of loss. We out of it. Good. He said they was going to shut it up on their end. I got text message proof that I'm out of that. They was going to shut it up. So we good. But boy, was I nervous because I was like, damn, I'm about to be out of this. Somehow we got to cover another car note, which I was cool with if we put it on the platform and it didn't rent out. I wasn't cool with that. It was just the fact that, like, oh, we just stuck with a damn Nissan sitting in my freaking sitting outside the parking lot. Like, what? Like, nah. Like, I would have lost my shit. I don't even mean my bad. I don't even mean crazy. So that I would have went crazy. So, I don't even know what kind of lesson that is. But for all y'all out there that want to get in the rental car game, I heard nobody talk about this either. Check those recalls. Especially right now at Corona times, material shortages, you don't want to be sitting there in the cash cows of the Nissans for economy cars. And I checked. Only 2020s and 2021s is good to go. So unless you luck up in the 2018, 17, 19, which are good vehicles put on there, make sure they ain't got no open recalls. But it seems like all them vehicles got recalls. Altimas too. I checked Centrals. I checked Altimas. I was checking everything, though. I was just like, man. So now we back at square one. Again, for the second time. This is the second time. First one, we ain't gonna talk about that. I'm gonna get upset.
What happened the first time?
The time with Devin going to dealership, we get all the way through. Let me tell you something. I didn't even know my negotiation skills were this cold. Also, when y'all want to get into certain things, y'all need to get y'all negotiation skills up for every single thing y'all do in entrepreneurship. Do not go in just accepting what people give you. I don't care if you just started. Know your worth going in. That's a don't right there. Don't just accept whatever. I understand people want to, sometimes people do stuff for the low. Sometimes cool. If you want to do that, cool. But know your worth. Maybe take a test sample of people. You might want to take maybe 5 people. You want to do them free. Next 5, 50% off. After that, you full tilt, man. Like, know your worth and network. Network. That's your key right there. But yeah, that was that instance right there where I tested out my negotiation skills. Me and Devin walk in this dealership. I just got to Houston, 5-hour drive. I just get to Houston. Devin like, let's just check the dealership out. Miraculously, they got a Nissan. In hindsight, it didn't matter. It worked out fine because now that I think about it, we would have ran into this recall shit anyway. So it really don't matter. We was getting a Nissan there too. It was a Sentra. Was it a Sentra?
Shit, when you were saying that, I think it was a Maxima.
I don't know, but we was getting one at this Toyota dealership, Mark. I done literally scouted this whole thing out while we walking over it. I done caught the chip tail, like the scuff. I done caught the messed up rim. And we done caught it all. So we go to negotiation. I done talked these people to pretty much 11 out the door or something like that?
Something like that. It was pretty low.
Bro, it was super low. I was just like, bro, I'm like, this can't be real. Like, we about to get this mug for nothing. Because they were trying to get it out of there for 15. And I was just like, bro, no. Like, this thing is damaged. On top of that negotiation, we convinced them to fix pretty much all the issues except for the wheel, I think. So we was got to take care of the wheel, but they was going to fix everything else. The stains in the seats. They was going to fix the little scuff on the back. The brake light was chipped. They was going to fix all of it. I was just like, bro, I don't know how we just did this. We're about to get this mug. Devin, literally, I'm sitting in my car running my numbers, have my laptop with me because, I'm literally just getting into town, so I hadn't sat nothing down. I'm running the numbers. I'm like, bro, this is about to be a lit. I hadn't even thought about tour. I'm looking at a hire car like, oh, we about to eat. Man, this man coming out looking at me, shaking his head, bro. I'm just like, what? I'm like, what, bro? He like, all this man tell me is, he said, don't get married. I'm sitting there like, what are you talking about? I just talked him down to the greatest deal he ever gonna see in our life. This car didn't even have a lot of miles. I think it had 50-something thousand. I'm just like, bro, we really did it. That's all I was thinking in my head. Like, I'm calling people like, bro, we did it. Y'all was laughing. We did it. That's all I'm thinking. People was laughing. And we did it. And this man just come out with this, just shaking his head. I'm just like, then he like, nah, I'm going to take care of it. I don't hear from Devin the whole next day. This is where see, y'all are learning something from these stories right here. This is where communication comes in with your business partners. I'm sitting here like, all right, I'm testing like, bro, what's going on? What are we doing? Because we got till Monday. I'm leaving Monday. We got till Monday. So I'm just like, all right. So I hit the road early on Monday morning, hoping that, Devin told me don't worry about it. So I'm thinking everything good. I'm going to wake up. He going to be like, I'm going to pick this mug up. Like, all right. So I get a call, Mark, and I got up early and left. I get a call probably 6, 7, something in the morning. I'm on the road already headed back to Dallas. Devin just like, I don't know why it doesn't make sense to her, but she ain't with it. And I'm just like, I'm just sitting there like I'm stunned. So basically, we didn't get that vehicle either. But hindsight, wouldn't have been able to list it because it's a recall, so it don't even matter. Water under the bridge. So now we're back at square one. So these are things to consider, folks. We over here counting our chickens before they hatch, man. I ain't even listed the car yet. I was sitting here celebrating. Don't celebrate too soon. Do not celebrate too soon.
You gotta celebrate after the first booking. Not the first listen. After the first book.
I was celebrating just when I got the dope description. I had the emojis. I had all of it. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna offer free delivery. We're gonna do this. We're gonna undercut all the competition. So they're gonna book ours for sure. I look up, nah, bro. that's how I felt when I hit that list button. I hit the little publish or whatever. They're like, nope. You got open recall, you can't do nothing. So now I'm sitting there pissed. But, lessons learned, man. You can't let this water on the bridge. You can't let that stuff get to you. Just keep going. So now I'm back at square one, looking for another vehicle. And now we're trying to figure out if we're gonna just go with a new vehicle or get a higher tier vehicle and maybe skip a step we was gonna take to get to that point. We had planned on doing 4 or 5 cars, like economy. It'd go up to like mid tier, like Teslas, like Model 3s or Mercedes or something like that. BMWs maybe, and then eventually get like a lot, partner with somebody else, have a whole lot, in Dallas and in Houston, close to the airports, and get exotics, like maybe 1 or 2. Let's see what happens. But back at square one, got to figure it out. So always have a plan. That's another don't. Don't go in nothing just without no plan, man. 'Cause it can slap you in the face.
That's for sure. I mean, it's that whole like don't. Well, see, a lot of people talk about burn the boats. Just burn. Like, I mean, we've been talking about, like Mark said, don't leave your job before your side money's making as much or about even. I mean, a lot of people have this burn the boat mentality. And to burn the boats, you might need that boat.
No, I get it. They love that sink and swim. They love that sink and swim until they sink it, and they like,
you might sink.
I just get mad thinking about it, but then I'm grateful at the same time because we could have really got. Like, I signed that paperwork. If you listen to this, Kevin, bro, I appreciate you, my G. I'm gonna have to take you to grab like a steak or something, man, because you really helped me out. I appreciate that.
We've been cinch owners.
Because I'm sitting here just stressed. Like, I'm trying to sit here. I'm telling them, like, okay, so I'm like, at this point, Mark, I'm sitting there like, bro, I could eat 1,000. So let me go look at how much it's gonna cost to sell this mug. I could eat it. And I'm like, Devin, just pay back. We'll figure it out. Yeah, no, like I'm at this point. That's what I'm like, bro. We just have to eat it. It is what it is. I'm looking on everywhere, and we're gonna have to eat like 3,500, Mark. I'm sitting here like, I really don't want to just come off 3,500, bro, on a vehicle that didn't even make me no money.
Ain't no point.
Because that was actually a decent deal considering the market right now. But it's all good. We're gonna find something hopefully before the month is up. It's June, so hopefully before June is up, so we can catch at least the July wave of summer rentals, July and August. I was
Mark off camera that I was looking at new, like we were talking about, so might just end up going the new route.
Yeah, because 2021 Centrus, you ain't got to worry about no recalls, but it's gonna cost you about $8,000 more. That's the problem. So it almost come down to you just want to go ahead and buy the next tier up, just eat the extra $2-3,000. Because originally the plan was to do it this way because we would have 2 vehicles instead of 1, so you net more money, and hopefully, essentially, 1 vehicle would cover both vehicles' expenses, and then the next other vehicle would be straight profit. But we're gonna see. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna have to go back in a dealership, I guess, and I'm gonna have to talk. I'm gonna have to just take that long process. Might have to tag team with Devin to go in together to talk them down. So we'll see. What's some more don'ts, man? I don't even want to talk about that no more.
Let's see.
Well, you can go first, Mark. I actually got to think of one. I was pretty involved in this rental conversation.
Yeah. And we already kind of talked about, not jumping ahead in regards to what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what you're saying about that, I mean, we might have already said it, but kind of knowing, and we've talked about this on previous podcasts, but knowing your why. So pretty much once it does get tough and you do have those late nights and early mornings and all that type of stuff, knowing why you're doing what you're doing. Because if you don't know that, then you're just gonna say, "Man, I'm done with this. This is too tough. This is too tough. I thought this was gonna be a lot easier."
Even though hey man, that's true. Because a lot of people, you'll have that blueprint, and just because you got that blueprint, it may be a very simple blueprint. Because let me tell you something. I don't really think it's no blueprint more simple than the rental car game right now. Maybe notary, but just because something is simple, it don't make it easy. It's usually hard, and I haven't come across anything that. Yeah, a lot of things are simple to do, but it's very hard. There's no easy route to it. That's what sucks about things. So it's something like you're guaranteed. If you want to just give up, you're guaranteed not to be successful with it because you quit. So that's kind of one thing I always stress people. Like it's gonna be hard. Don't get it twisted. Just because you see this and you see somebody else that's I know people that's making 1,000 a week and stuff like that now in a rental car game, but it took time to get to that point. And it's to start off during coronavirus one vehicle, and now they got 7, 8. Some I know another guy. He got a couple vehicles at this point. He has it to where he can get them under his business credit without even PG in it. Well, personal guarantor and being a personal guarantor for it, where he got to be on that. So now he's got it to a point where he getting Teslas now, and so that's just something to think about. And that's why I always tell people, think about everything that's going on with it. I mean, a lot of people will tell you, like, you can ask these guys. They'll tell you that when we talk to people, everybody say I ask too many questions, but I got reasons to ask these many, this many questions because I've been burned before. It ain't fun trying to get out of a bad situation. And that goes to, like, I guess the next thing I want to talk about, just like leveraging. Okay, there's a fine line with this, right? As far as partnerships go. Because we talked about doing business with friends, but it's also, I like to do business with people that are experts in what they do, whether it be real estate, Amazon, reselling, wholesaling houses, whatever. It's better to me to sacrifice some of the pie, even if I got to do a 60-40 split where I take the 40%, I don't even get the 60%, just to be able to work with somebody that's like an expert in this field, that's proven and successful. Because a lot of people, they had this thing where they want to go do stuff by themselves and get 100% of it. But it's like I always tell people personally, like, would you rather have 50% of 10 million or 100% of 200,000? So it's kind of one of those things like when you work with experts. Because I mean, I work with a few. I'm like in the process of working with a few, like what I would call industry experts in what they do. And while I'm not making as much as I could initially, in the long term, this lasting partnership gonna make me way more money. I get to learn from somebody that's proven. I don't, and sometimes you're fortunate enough where you get to learn free, and you provide value in some other way. Like I started off, I always use the real estate example. I'm serving as private money. I get to learn the whole process of rehabs. I make money still off of them deals, and I just do a split that way. That's just something to take into consideration. That's why I always say partnerships is huge. So, I mean, I don't know what y'all thoughts are on partnerships because, I mean, me, I love them.
Yeah. No, I like partnerships as well. And kind of your mission with partnering with industry experts. But I guess kind of like the other side of that is, so like Ollie was talking about kind of like the bigger stuff. So like wholesale, let's say even like rental cars. So as you start getting exotic, you'll hear a lot about joint ventures and stuff like that. Because you're not going to be able to buy all these McLarens, Lambos, and Ferraris and all that. You're just going to team up with others. But kind of in the smaller scale, and what me and Ollie are talking about off camera is you definitely got to make sure the partnership is mutual, because if not, there's still competition. So not everyone's on the same mindset that we are here. I mean, you might start partnering with someone that you're like, oh man, this dude's an industry expert in, let's just say, credit repair. And you guys kind of have like this plan together. You got all the clients worked out, but really what he's doing is he has from A to M, and you have N to Z. Well, he's taking your N to Z basically and saying like, okay, cool. Now I know A to Z. Now I don't need Ollie anymore.
So, yeah, that is true. Yeah, because
so you gotta definitely vet people, and we've talked about that as well. Kind of trust and verify and all that type of stuff.
Always verify. If there's one thing I've learned, I don't know if these guys can speak on it, but if there's one thing I have learned is you always, I don't care if you grew up with that person. I don't care if it's little Jake from down the block, whoever that you went to school with since kindergarten. You gotta always verify, man, because that trust could come to bite you. And I know plenty of people. Uh, and it's one of those things. I've been talking about this a lot lately. Like you also run into the thing, especially when you're doing business. We'll just talk about forget that they're an industry expert. Just business with friends. You run into that thing where a lot of your friends they'll start confusing their loyalty. Like, yeah, y'all are loyal to each other because y'all grew up together, y'all came from nothing and got to something. So now they'll start confusing that loyalty with entitlement. And they'll think that they're just like entitled to whatever you done while you may be putting in the work every day, grinding. That don't necessarily mean that that person is. So I always tell people like you gotta stop. You can't confuse loyalty with entitlement. Because just because we cool, just because you my boy like Mark, they my boys. But like most time, if we doing something, they gotta put their weight just as much as I'm pulling my weight. Yeah, I could put you on. I could give you the play, but you gotta go put that work in to go see the results from that. And that's what a lot of people they don't want to do. They get put on a lot. You'll see that with a lot of like the entertainers and stuff. The best example to me is somebody that put their people on and like really did something was LeBron. You know, that's a good example. Putting people on and they running with it and actually doing something with what they was given. But you got those other people that are just leeches though, that feel like they just entitled because they knew you when you ain't had nothing that they deserve to be to eat off of what you eating off of, and they ain't contribute at all. So that's something to also take into consideration. That's a thing to think about, especially when you step into the entrepreneurship world, because a lot of us have that tendency where we don't want to do stuff by ourselves. And first person you're going to initially think of is, oh, my friends. Let me try to do something with my friends. And it's weird because like I do stuff with my friends, but I also do stuff with people like my real estate mentor. I met him literally off a DM 5 years ago, and I only met him through a guy when I bought my first vehicle. Finance manager at a dealership. He was black. I was black. I was actually doing something. He was impressed by that. Put me in this sports group, but it was a bunch of black people that's out there doing and successful in their life. He just so happened to be in there. I seen him talking about real estate a lot, and this was back when we was first talking about real estate. And that's how I met him. I was like, one day I'm gonna work with you. Fast forward, somehow I end up in Dallas. And I always talk about that. Like it's crazy how things work, but you got to be willing to execute them when you get the opportunities. Like a lot of this stuff is luck. Like a lot of this stuff in this game is luck, man. Like me making money in investments, a lot of that is luck, dog. But you gotta understand was you prepared when the opportunity was presented. That's a lot of things that people don't understand. So I just, take all that into consideration. Like Dan was saying, trust but verify. I'm sorry, I went on that rant, but that is huge. Like I don't think people realize just how important that is in itself. To trust and verify. Don't care how close they are to you, family included, because that's the ones that's gonna probably end up being the worst. Because they're the ones that also shit on your dreams and shit on what you thinking that you're gonna do in the beginning. And once you really get it going, then they want to be like, "I knew you could do it," and it's like, "No, you didn't. Like you talked down on this the whole time." So, and I mean, I understand you got to differentiate that because some people they kind of scared and nervous, and that's just because they never done something before. So if you ain't never did nothing, I can understand why you would be cautious of like your kid doing something or your nephew or whatever. Like I can understand it, but at the same time, they ain't got to see the vision. You just got to be able to see it and execute.
And that's definitely all about that support factor because at the end of the day, of course, you want to partner with the people that you close to, but at the end of the day, you got to hit reality at some time. Not everybody that you've been close to, grew up with, hung out with, might be right for this situation. Because I think in my mind, it's always best to have experts from different realms. Because if you happen to be that same expert that you're trying to, expert with the same person, I just feel like it's never going to work out. It's always going to be that competition in the back of the mind, even though you may have something in writing in regards of having a partnership, because at sooner or later, sometime, hey, one person wants to be a little bit more innovative, wants to do a little bit more. Okay, you know what? Let me go ahead and start trying to, branch off to do something more, and that's where that complication comes, and with a partnership, it's always about having that balance. Okay, you know what? he's an expert in this. You know what? I'm an expert in this. I think that, you know what, I could benefit off him. He could benefit off me. And then, you know what, we got this product that's actually going to work out best. You know, and that's the biggest thing in my mind in regards of building an actual partnership, having those, you know, leveraging those experts around you, you know, and sometimes they may not even be that close. It might be somebody, as Ali said, you know, you just happen to got a situation where you just kind of met them at one moment, then all of a sudden down the road just kind of fell into an opportunity where, hey, things are just working out. So
I think that's
that's
also
always
key. You was mentioning just get something that you mentioned about signing things, and that to me is very important. Like, while I do a lot of business with Devin, right? Like, we don't never sign nothing. I mean, we'll probably end up signing something when we like actually do an LLC and stuff for this rental car
Mhm.
thing. But it's understood. Like, this is like a long. Like, I've known Devin shit. Damn, like 10 years. So it's kind of like I've done stuff with him. And I've seen like, okay, like on this Turo stuff, for instance, it was an agreement. Like, we gonna cut 50-50 straight down the middle. Ain't no nothing. I buy something for the business, he'll send me 50% of that cost, and vice versa. If he gets something for it, I'll send it to him, and it's just we do that through cat. Like, while it may not be the best setup right now, it's understood that that's what it is for the initial time being until we can sit down and get something in writing. But I do believe that, like, you can't just assume that's going to be the case, that everybody's that solid. You know, when you start looking to do business with people or partner with people, especially when you partner up with people that you don't know, because even people that you do know, because they might think that it's even sweeter because they know you. They'd be like, "Oh, I'll get you back, a month from now," and then they don't forgot about it. You sitting there like, "Hey, what happened?" Like, or you might just taking out the profits, like, and they looking at you like, "Why you do this?" And it's like, "Well, you never paid me back that money, so I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna just take it off the top." And so that's just things to consider, because at the end of the day, it's just good business. Get stuff in writing and honor that. Like, at the end of the day. So I mean, that's just a couple things. Just my piece on it. Because when you start talking about partnering people, that's the main thing. Like, I partner with somebody. I've got a promissory note for this one deal that we were doing together in real estate. I partner with other people where it's just like, hey, I've done stuff where I've loaned my family money. Like, hey, and it's like, hey, if you don't want to do the whole in writing, just know if you do get burned, you got to eat that. That's on you, because you put yourself in a
Mhm.
situation you didn't have to put yourself in. So that's just something to think about.
Oh, that's true. And then just kind of like in that point. And then the other thing is, don't be afraid of partnerships, because all these things, like Ali said, with like different opportunities and things that came up, all the way from just a Facebook group. I mean, you just never know. I mean, you never know where that next opportunity is going to be. So, like Ali mentioned, a meet and greet in Dallas on June 24th. So, I mean, just going to that, you might go to the event, be like, man, this event's kind of whack. I don't think it would be, but let's just say it was. But then you go in the parking lot, and the dude that was moving the cars, all of a sudden, he's starting a different business. You start talking to him, and then it's like, oh, hey, dude, here's my card. Hit me up tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 y'all doing a whole different business.
It's
So,
crazy you mentioned that, because I didn't even. I remember, like, I'm not a person. I don't like social. Like, I don't like going out and being social and no networking. Where I don't networking where I don't know nobody. Like, it took me a minute to get like I'm still trying to get used to that, and it's fine. Like, it's easier now. Like, because I can talk to people, I got to, but I'm an introvert, so I don't really do all that. But like, I went to the Black Wealth Renaissance Mixer. I think they had like a month or so ago, or 2 months ago, maybe. I went to that, and it's crazy because I'm just talking to, like, I rarely start talking to this one guy because he wasn't talking to nobody. Come to find out, he got a vending machine route down in Fort Worth. So I'm like in talks with him now. Later on, when he plans on expanding, I'm gonna just partner up with him. I'm talking to one of my employees. I won't disclose his name because he told me not to mention any of it, but anonymous person that worked for me, right? I'm just talking to him, and he shows me this picture of all this money, and I'm just sitting there like, naturally, he wanted a few black people I got, so I'm just sitting there like, I want a few black people in the whole plan. So I'm sitting there like, oh, okay, like, it's terrible because my mind automatically went to the worst. And so I started talking to him like, so what do you do, bro? Like, and so I come to find out he got on like a vending machine route from an engineer that worked there years ago, who had a whole route of like 25 machines, bringing him in like 60 grand a year. And I know he had to cut down last year because of COVID, but still he said that what he got left brings him in like 20K a year. That's just extra money. And on top of that, he also said that he's a contractor and he goes and does cleanings. And I know y'all know I've been mentioning like I plan on getting in the cleaning business later on this year. So I'm like, oh, like if you ever want some business, like I can send you, like I can later on this year, I'm getting into that. So I can, like we could team up and I can find you some stuff and pay you well and keep it moving. Like, and just like that. So, and it's crazy because he works for me. So that's why I always tell people like, don't never look down on nobody. That's one thing. Like, you don't never know what somebody got going on. And I'm like, it's crazy. Like I've come across people. I'm in a managerial role, whatever. So I'll come across a lot of like my employees. I just talk to them just like regular people. And you come to find out that they got so much going on. Like an old job I had back in the day, I had a couple of employees that had rental properties out in Phoenix, and I'm just like, how? Like you would have never thought like they had none of that going on. Like, and they make less than I do. So it's just talking to people, find out what their interests are and stuff like that. And like I said, not everybody you gonna mesh with like that, but just understand that you could potentially anybody could be that next person to help you propel in life. And I don't. And when I say this, I need to put this out there too. Don't just go looking because a lot of people have this like it's weird. Like be genuine about this. Like I genuinely just want to see people win. So I genuinely just like talking to people about like certain things. And then we have we mesh where we can talk about certain topics and stuff like whether it be making money, business, sports, whatever. Like just let that be natural. Don't go up harassing people talking about like do you have a business? Do you do like no? I mean if you had a mixer like a little networking event like that, yeah, that's the time and place for that. Like, that's what you're there for. But just regular that like just see somebody walking down, like on the streets or at work or wherever, be genuine. You see these people every day. And like I say, you ain't got to get along with everybody. That's fine. But if you're going to try to like talk to somebody, like at least get to know them as a human being first. At the end of the day, yeah, we trying to make money, but we're human beings, bro. And that's what a lot of times people forget is people get so caught up in the, what can you do for me? Instead of just like getting to know a person and see like what they even got going on in their situation. Like that's something that people don't take into consideration at all when they talk to people. It's kind of more just like it's a closed fist mentality. It's just like all they're trying to do is take instead of just trying to, actually build a rapport with somebody and let it like a natural relationship grow from there. And if y'all never talk about business, it's all good. Like I've known this guy that I talk like just off of talking to him every day at work, like he was comfortable enough to show me that because I have a rapport with him. And just so happened last week, he shows me this, and I'm just like, dang. And off of that, like maybe something could happen in the future down the road when I get started on my like a venture that directly correlates to his. And so now it's mutually beneficial. Like sometimes, like Mark might have something going on, or Devin might have something going on. And it ain't something I'm looking to do. And that's fine. I'll give like any way I can help to give like tips or things to think about while you're doing it. I'll do that, and that's me trying to be helpful to you. It's not me trying to like criticize or downplay it. Sometimes you're just really trying to help somebody else out, and they may not have thought about some things. So you just want to put it out there, like take this into consideration. You're doing this. I know somebody that does. Maybe you know somebody in that field already that went through all these problems. So put them on game and let them know. Like okay, I know. So like I got my homeboy over here. He went through this. So take this into consideration when you get started so you don't have to go through that and maybe it'll save him some money. Don't expect nothing in return. And that's fine. But at the end of the day, people so caught up trying to, especially nowadays, like people so caught up on this LLC thing, this entrepreneur like thing, it's a trend now. So now everybody's trying to take from anybody they can instead of just trying to be genuine about things. So that was my piece. I ain't got much else to say about it,
Yeah, I mean, that was perfect.
So
I think you hit it right on the head right there, for sure.
Normally I have my guest bust the freestyle. Only person I had busting was Kjo though. He was only one man enough. He wasn't afraid. But I appreciate y'all boys coming through, man, coming on. Y'all may see them again. You never know, man. It could be some recurring guest co-hosts, you know. You never know who you'll see on this mug, man. You never know the conversation that'll be had. Like we always say, man, we're good at success if everybody around you is still struggling. Each one reach one, each one teach one, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all got some value from this, which y'all had to get something from it, hopefully. You know, like the if you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you listening in on a podcast platform, go ahead and leave a comment and leave a review. Rate it 5 stars, I hope. And if you think we can do something better, that's cool too. Let me know, man. I'm always looking to improve, man. No excuses out here, only improvements, man. So peace.